Does this tune ring a bell? For most of us, a trip to the circus is a childhood memory that we will never forget. The clowns, the cotton candy, the glow sticks, and my personal favorite, the wild animals. However, I, like most circus goers, was completely ignorant as to what was going on behind the scenes of the circus. The animals were experiencing unimaginable cruelty and were living in gruesome conditions. And what gets me the most is that I was supporting these horrendous behaviors by buying tickets and attending these shows. So I'm here today to tell you about what really goes on behind the scenes of the circus and to tell you why circuses should perform without animals. Circuses should perform without animals because the animals aren't natural performers, the animals are abused, and the animals are dangerous. First off, the circus is not a natural life for the animals. In the wild, the animals eat, sleep, and play as they please. However, in the circus, all of these pleasures are taken from them, and as well as their independence. Constant travel means that the animals are always locked up, and sometimes even days at a time, and they're expected to endure extreme conditions without accessible food, water, or veterinary care. The animals are crammed uncomfortably into small cages where they're expected to eat, sleep, and defecate all in the same place. Stephen Harris, who is the lead researcher of the Global Welfare Study, was quoted in New Science magazine saying, "Whether it's lack of space and exercise or lack of social contact, all factors combined show it's a poor quality of life compared with the wild." How many times have you been out in the wilderness, looked over your shoulder, just to see a bear riding a bike, or an elephant standing on its head, or a lion jumping through a ring of fire? Me either. I think we're all well aware that animals aren't natural performers. So what makes us think that they would perform in front of audiences full of hundreds of people? I'll tell you one thing. It's not because they're getting treats. The animals are performing out of pure fear. Fear of what will happen if they don't perform. Which leads me to my next point. Aside from the unnatural circumstances that involved in the circus life for animals, the animals endure a career and sometimes even a lifetime full of pain and suffering. Next, I'd like to tell you about the cruel treatment. Circuses should perform without animals because the animals are abused. According to an anti-Ringling Brothers Circus website, ringlingbeatsanimals.com, they noted that since 1992, 26 elephants, 4 being babies, had died under the poor care of the Ringling Brothers Circus trainers. Please note that in the wild, the average lifespan of an elephant is nearly 60 years. PETA, which stands for People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, displays graphic undercover video footage of circus animal training sessions of the Ringling Brothers Circus, which shows helpless and clearly frightened elephants being brutally beat with bullhooks, electric prods, and whips until they literally cry out. The bears are poked at with sticks, and the lions and tigers are dragged with large chains around their necks and also beat with sticks. One circus, the Carson and Barnes Circus, has even been documented for using blowtorches on their elephants. The videos show trainers not only physically beating the animals, but outrageously yelling at them using foul language, as if the animals could understand their degrading words. Circuses should perform without animals, not only for the animals' sake, but for the sake of the public. Most of the time, the animals used in the circus are taken straight out of the wild, and that's what they remain. They remain wild. No matter how much these animals are trained, they're always going to have that unpredictability of a wild animal. Which brings me to my next point. Circuses should perform without animals because the animals are dangerous. According to PETA.org, since the year 2000, nearly 35 incidents have occurred involving circus elephants running out of the tents, running into the public, crashing into buildings, and injuring and sometimes even killing their handlers. For example, in 1994, a circus elephant named Tyke killed her trainer and injured 12 onlookers in downtown Honolulu just before being shot over 100 times and eventually killed. So how do these circuses get away with this cruel treatment, you ask? Well, the Animal Welfare Act is the only piece of legislation which is supposed to be protecting the circus animals, but there aren't any government agencies that monitor these circus training sessions. So since the government is slow to the punch, I'm going to tell you a few things that you can do to help stop this cruelty and to get animals out of the circus. The easiest way for you to make an impact is to stop buying circus tickets and stop going to the shows, because ultimately the audience is who is keeping these circuses in business. So after you've boycotted the circuses, make sure to spread the word. Currently, there are no heart-wrenching commercials backed by Sarah McLachlan's angelic voice that are telling people about the pain and suffering that these animals are going through. So you need to be the voice for the animals and tell everyone you know to stop going to the circuses. If you are motivated to take your efforts a step further, you could consider making a campaign to amend the animal cruelty ordinance in your own community. Although you may feel that your efforts are insignificant, just know that every effort makes an impact towards getting animals out of the circuses. Because circuses should perform without animals, because the animals aren't natural performers, the animals are abused, and the animals are dangerous. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, something needs to be done. And there's no better time than now, and there's no better person than you.